You've seen it happen. Crisis strikes. People freeze. They look around for someone else to take charge, someone else to make the hard decision, someone else to bear the responsibility. But there's always that one guy, quiet, unassuming, invisible, until the moment everything goes wrong. Then he becomes the most important person in the room. Today, we're diving deep into the psychology of the Sigma male's helping instinct. This isn't about being a hero or seeking recognition. This is about something far more profound and far more dangerous to the established order. What you're about to discover will change how you see every crisis, every emergency, and every moment when society reveals its true colors. The uncomfortable truth: everyone else is waiting for permission. Let me ask you something that'll make you uncomfortable. When was the last time you saw a crowd of people actually help instead of just watching? Here's what's happening in those moments of crisis. Most people are running a complex social algorithm in their heads. Should I help? What will people think? What if I do the wrong thing? What if I get sued? What if I make it worse? Is someone more qualified coming? But the Sigma male's brain works differently. Ever wonder why you don't hesitate when others are paralyzed by overthinking? It's because you don't need social permission to do what's right. While others are calculating social risk, you're calculating human need. The crowd mentality says, someone else will handle it. The authority mindset says, wait for the experts. The Sigma mindset says, if not me, then who? If not now, then when? This is the first layer of why you help when others won't. You don't need the world's permission to act on your own moral compass. Most people don't realize this, but your willingness to act without social validation terrifies the establishment. You represent something they can't control: spontaneous moral authority. Here's where it gets really interesting. You don't help because you want recognition. You help because you can't live with yourself if you don't. Think about the psychology of heroism for a moment. Most people who fantasize about being heroes are actually fantasizing about being praised for being heroes. They want the glory, the admiration, the story they can tell at parties. But that's not why you act, is it? Ever noticed how you often help anonymously or disappear before anyone can thank you? That's because your helping instinct comes from internal moral pressure, not external validation seeking. Here's what makes you different. You don't help to become the hero. You help to avoid becoming the coward. You don't act for applause. You act for personal integrity. This creates a powerful psychological armor. When your motivation is internal, you can't be manipulated by external pressure. You can't be shamed into inaction because you're not seeking approval. You can't be discouraged by criticism because you're not dependent on praise. But here's the uncomfortable truth. This moral independence makes you unpredictable to systems that rely on controlling people through social pressure. You represent uncontrolled moral authority. Most people don't see this coming, but your internal moral compass doesn't just drive you to help, it makes you impossible to corrupt. And corrupt systems find that terrifying. Let's talk about something nobody wants to acknowledge. Most people don't help because they genuinely don't know how. They've been so conditioned to defer to experts, to wait for professionals, to follow protocols, that they've never developed practical life skills. They can't change a tire, can't perform basic first aid, can't think critically under pressure. But you can, and that changes everything. Ever been in a situation where everyone's panicking and you're the only one who knows what to actually do? That's not coincidence. That's preparation meeting opportunity. Here's what most people miss. Competence creates confidence, and confidence creates action. You help when others won't, because you actually know how to help effectively. While others are worried about making things worse, you've taken the time to develop real skills. While they're paralyzed by uncertainty, you're operating from proven knowledge. But here's the deeper psychological truth. Your competence doesn't just enable you to help, it creates a moral obligation to help. With great capability comes great responsibility, whether you ask for it or not. Think about this. If you're the only person in the room who knows CPR, and someone needs CPR, your knowledge creates an ethical imperative. Your competence transforms situations from someone should help to I should help. Most people don't realize this, but your broad skill set and practical knowledge make you a force multiplier in crisis situations. You don't just help, you help effectively. Here's something that'll blow your mind. You don't just help when others won't, you help when others don't even see the need. Your brain processes information differently. While most people are focused on immediate, obvious problems, you're scanning for patterns, anticipating consequences, identifying root causes. Ever fixed a problem before anyone else even realized there was a problem? That's your pattern recognition working overtime. You see the elderly person struggling with groceries while everyone else walks past. You notice the kid being bullied while the adults are distracted. You spot the safety hazard before the accident happens. You identify the solution while others are still defining the problem. But here's where it gets really powerful. Your pattern recognition doesn't just help you see problems. It helps you see leverage points where small actions create big results. While others are thinking about grand gestures and major interventions, you're identifying the precise moment where minimal effort creates maximum impact. You know when to speak up, when to step in, and when to quietly solve things behind the scenes. This is systems thinking applied to human problems. You don't just react to crises, you prevent them. You don't just manage emergencies, you eliminate the conditions that create emergencies. Most people don't see this coming, but your ability to see patterns and leverage points makes you strategically helpful rather than just emotionally helpful. Here's a truth that sounds almost superhuman. When you decide to help, you don't need anyone else's permission, resources, or support to make it happen. Most people can only help within institutional frameworks. They need organizational approval, committee decisions, budget allocations, legal clearance. Their helping is always conditional on system support. But you operate differently. Ever solved someone's problem with your own time, money, and effort without asking anyone's permission? That's resource independence in action. You don't wait for funding to help someone in need. You don't need organizational backing to do the right thing. You don't require committee consensus to act on moral clarity. This resource independence is both your superpower and your threat to established systems. When you can help independently, you can't be controlled through resource dependency. Think about what this means. You represent uncontrolled problem-solving capacity. You can identify problems and solve them without going through official channels. You can create change without institutional permission. But here's the psychological reality. Your resource independence comes from abundance thinking. You help because you have enough skills, enough resources, enough confidence to share without depleting yourself. Most people operate from scarcity. They don't help because they're afraid of not having enough left over. But you operate from overflow. You help because you have more than you need. Most people don't realize this, but your resource independence doesn't just enable helping. It enables sustainable helping. You can maintain your assistance over time because you're not draining your reserves. If this video explained your relationship struggles in a way that finally made sense, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below with the word integrity and tell me which reason hit closest to home. And if this video gave you permission to embrace your singleness rather than apologize for it, hit that like button and subscribe for more brutal truths about the Sigma male experience. Remember, better to be authentically alone than artificially coupled. Until next time, trust your standards.